Okay, so week 2 of 100 Day to Code Challenge. And we have learned quite a bit of new stuff. We got into our first framework of Bootstrap. We learned some Flexbox stuff, just got a little bit better at CSS, and now we're finally moving into the JavaScript stuff. So over here, I'll have this pop up on the screen here really quick. Go ahead and show you guys a couple of things that I have done. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is something of a passion project, kind of an idea I have for a social media type platform, except for it's more for people to kind of debate each other, and I guess like a controlled environment. And what I mean by controlled is I'm calling the thing Listen. And basically what would happen is like you would choose a person, you could set this up, it could be a private thing, it could be a public thing, it's kind of up to you. And when the one person's talking, your mic is muted and there's nothing you can say, and you have to listen to what they say, because if you don't listen, you can have a pretty hard time refuting or debating them on any of the facts that they brought up. So you just have to sit there and listen to the entire thing before you interject. I think there's a big problem with that, not a lot of people listening. But that's not really the cool part that I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you guys that this is the first thing I made by myself anyway at Bootstrap, and it's completely resizable. It gets the little hamburger button here, and it has, obviously, this is like a login page with the password and email address and all that. Another thing, this is something that I made actually just using Grid. So it resizes and does all that. It has media queries and everything in it so that it resizes a different size. And that is pretty cool. So that's what we did mostly this week, which is focusing on like Flexbox. And then towards the end of the week, we checked out Bootstrap. And Bootstrap, because we spent like a whole week, like at least I spent like a whole week almost on like Flexbox stuff, Bootstrap was like, it was super like simple, like it made sense right away, and it made it very, very easy to like just go and make something like super quick that looked at least semi-professional. So that was really cool. And now we're getting into JavaScript. Now, if you've seen any of my past like 3 videos that I put out before I had some medical stuff, which I talked about in the last video, I've already done part of a course that had JavaScript and stuff in it. So these last couple days when we've been going through JavaScript, I've just been kind of like clicking through videos extremely quickly and not really like basically just reviewing, because it's just the very basic stuff like strings, variables, var, let, and const, like why you don't use var anymore, and like when is appropriate to use let and const, and why you want to try to use const as much as you can. Just like very, very basic stuff, like just going over data types and everything. So basically it's just been reviewing, and I've just been trying to get through it as quickly as possible, but without actually just like skipping everything and just like putting it at like 2 times speed, just because I might as well watch it, and he might say something that I didn't pick up in my last class, because obviously in the last class I kind of had a little bit of issues with it, or it didn't really mesh with me. Otherwise I would have just stayed taking that one. Like, why would I pay for 2, right? So that's what we've been doing this week, is we figured out Bootstrap, what it is and kind of how it works. We got Flexbox and all that stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say dialed in, but like if I had to make something, like if I had a job somewhere and I had to make something like a page really quick and style it and use Flexbox, I would feel comfortable that even if I didn't know exactly what I needed to do, I could go and figure it out easy. Like I'd know what questions to ask so that I could go and figure out the exact things that I needed to use to make all that work and get that stuff set up. So pretty good week so far. We're on day 14, week 2 of the 100 Day to Code Challenge, and like I can make better and better stuff, and I feel better and better about it every single day. Now we're getting the JavaScript in. Hopefully we're going to start making some really cool interactive stuff. And by the end of this course, I'm taking the Colt Steele Web Developer course. By the end of it, I should be able to set up like an entire, my passion project here that I kind of showed you guys my login page for, I should be able to set up everything for it. The server side of it, the back end, everything. So let's hope that's the case. As long as I keep working on my own personal stuff, it should work out. So if you guys let me know down below if you're currently taking the challenge, kind of where you're at, what day you're on, if you're on week 2 as well, like how far have you gotten? That way I kind of know if I'm slacking, if I need to pick it up a little bit or not. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Later on.